So good morning. I am doing the weekly energy check-in this week, just to have a look at what's going on an energetic level. I have some new cards, as you can see, a few new cards here. One is the Priestess of Light Oracle, which is tapping into the divine feminine energy, and these up here are the Archangel Michael oracle cards that are also brand new. So what I get first, the first card I chose is from the ancestors. So it's this white eagle spirit here, and it's asking to connect to your lineage, and it actually fits quite nicely with this energetic card, the gateway card here, which is about karmic clearing. So in a sense, there's basically, it's asking us to connect to our ancestry, but also that there is something within ourselves, an old wound or old pattern, something, an old belief system that actually now being got rid of. Now this is very, very important at this time, because on the 8th of November we have a full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus, and it's actually aspecting a whole heap of planets in Scorpio, which are really asking us to go deeply into our fears, our trauma, our old belief systems. And so this energy is being felt even now as we move into that phase, and it will be felt for up to 6 months after that phase. So whilst that's happening on the 8th of November, we are now starting to really tap into that energy at this particular point in time. So there is something that is coming forward that is now we're needing to energetically get rid of, and this is actually becoming very, very powerful. And there is like this clearing, and so it's an opportunity for us to really and truly get rid of things that no longer work for us, to rewrite our story, to write it in a new and different way, so that it actually brings us more into an authentic relationship with ourselves, but also with other people as well, which are going to be, that's going to be a part of that new that full moon lunar eclipse, is that there's going to be a reevaluation in terms of lots of relationships as well, and just being in places where we are feeling valued and respected, rather than in places perhaps where we've had old trauma, old patterns, old connections, but not necessarily ones that serve us. Now, with this card, the Rebecca Campbell, Work Your Light, it's asking us to now stay really grounded and connected particularly with Mother Nature, because at this particular point in time, when we're going through these changes and we're going through many, many things, it's actually really important to keep connected, and nature and grounding and the earth is what keeps us here. Otherwise, we can tend to go off with the fairies a little bit, and that is not necessarily a positive thing always. Now, with these Archangel Michael cards, they're asking, the first one is asking us to make a decision that basically we need to, choose between ourselves and other people. And also, looking at what is it that really and truly brings us joy, what makes us happy within ourselves, rather than looking at what it is that we are basically looking at what makes other people happy. Why do we do that? Give ourselves away in that sense for others, but really and truly to find our own joy. And also to stay the course, not to panic. Sometimes there can be bumps in the road, sometimes the road is not always smooth, and there are transitions, but these are all parts of the learning, and these are really, really important and powerful aspects. And in a sense, what confirms and what happens for us there is that it says here, you're correct, you've listened to your own inner guidance and made a wise choice, keep moving forward. So that's what happens when we actually start to really connect to and find our own inner joy and our own inner peace as such, so that we then start to move forward in a way that is authentic for us and brings us joy and happiness in our life. Now, these cards here, the Divine Feminine cards, the Priestess of Light card, this card is the Soul Radiance card. So this is the Phoenix Rising. And I'm actually going to read from this a little bit. The affirmation for this card is, I feel the power of my soul radiating outward in beautiful, resonant vibrations. Success is coming to me now. So I'm going to read that again. I feel the power of my soul radiating outward in beautiful, resonant vibrations. Success is coming to me now. I feel the power of my soul radiating outward in beautiful, resonant vibrations. Success is coming to me now. So basically, this is a time of great victory. This is a new beginning. And in a sense, what she's saying here, because it is the phoenix, is that phoenixes rise out of the ashes. And this is what it's saying. We are going to now rise out of all those old washes, those old ashes, the unwanted, etc. So this fire that we've been through might have been relationships, finances, It could have been, things that were not moving, in our lives as well, old grief, etc. But all of those things are coming to an end. And this card tells us that there's a newfound sense of freedom, but also that the source of real power and freedom is always within us. And when you find yourself living in those dark places, you need to find your own soul, your own heart, your own sense of self in order, the divine, and connect with the divine, in fact, so that you can actually move forward. But you actually need to let go. Real solutions can come into you when you move into that truth of who you are and when you come from a higher perspective. So if there's something that's not been difficult, or if you're doubting yourself, it's time to basically step into that, meditate, find peace, find that quiet space within yourself, come into your heart space, really reflect on what it is you want and need, and then move into that soul frequency that'll allow us to find and let go of all those old limitations. So really and truly, she is rising out of the phoenix. So it's about soul radiance, and this is a very exciting time for us. But again, it's time for us to let go of a whole range of things and make decisions that will actually really honor us in that particular sense, so we can actually have that new beginning and find that new space, which is very, very powerful. And so we continue with our tarot cards. So we have here the Four of Cups. There's something coming in for us, and it's really interesting with what I've just said, that renewal, we have old grief here, we have an awakening, and we have a new dream. So these tarot cards are really just supporting everything, that I've actually said before. So in the past, you've held on to old things. This Four of Pentacles can be money, ideas, all those old things that help us create the structure of our lives and who we are. But it's actually time, in a sense, to realize that those things can sometimes be also limiting us. And right now, with this Eight of Wands, there's a lot going on. There's positive things happening. There's opportunities, things. There's also unexpected things. So don't be surprised if this week there could be something totally unexpected that happens to you, or things happen, or basically you start to multitask, or there's travel, or there's things going on that's a little bit different for you in this particular space, particularly as we move into that, that full moon, energy. We're really starting to let go of a lot of things. And this is a time for really renewal, compassion, finding that space within yourself where you need to bring that clarity, and where you come into your heart space to really know what it is. And some of that is letting go of old grief, sadness, things that have held you back, because sometimes we hold those things in our hearts, and we think we've let go, and then there's a situation or something that happens that brings it back up. But it's also about healing those things within ourselves and healing any misunderstandings as well, so that we can actually move forward. And it's time to do that. It's time to let go of all that negative stuff and all that old sadness, all that old grief. And this is also what this ancestral clearing and is also about. And this old stuff, getting rid of the old karma. So we're letting go of old things that have brought us grief in the past and that we don't need to hold on to. And what comes here is that it brings an awakening. So where you see things in a totally different way, it's like you have a whole new perspective on things, and things look very, very differently to you. And that can be a really, really, positive things. But also it's a time when you really need to embrace who you are, to really look at what is it that I really need at this particular point in time. What is it bringing me? What does I have in the past? What do I need to have that's different? And what comes as a result of this is a brand new start, where you start to really trust yourself. And that Fool is, he's someone who, or he or she, is someone who's actually coming from a place of total faith, total trust, doesn't know exactly where he or she is going, not carrying a lot in terms of baggage as well, which is really, really important. And just stepping into a whole new, has coming through a whole new doorway, looking at this beautiful garden, and there's all sorts of things waiting, and there's wonder. The Fool doesn't know what's coming. But that's actually okay, because in a sense, that is, is about coming from that place of trust, and he's really, really moving forward in that place of complete trust, because he's saying, I'm not scared. I'm going to take this great leap of faith. I don't know where I'm going to go. I don't know where I'm going to head up, but basically it's going to be where I need to be, and that's exciting in that sense. So again, this is a week of clearing a lot of energy that you've been perhaps holding on to, old energy, old stuck things that need to now go. And it's time for you to step into a positive place, a place where you look at things totally differently. there's that renewal, that sense of change, that sense of newness, which is really, really positive. Things moving forward fairly quickly, but also you then being able to move into your place of complete and total trust, where you take that leap of faith, whatever area that might be, in your life, so you find your happiness. Because the Fool is totally happy. He's not weighed down by any of those old beliefs, those old baggage, any of those old things. He's just moving forward and saying, or she is just moving forward and saying, I'm going, and this is going to be, and I'm going to be totally in that experience, and that's going to be what inspires and excites me. And that's trust, that's faith. That's a very powerful place for any of us to be in. So I hope this week brings you many, many blessings. I hope it brings you many opportunities. Certainly it's a time to journal, reflect, meditate, let go of things that don't serve you anymore, and they're not supporting you on your journey and where you need to be going, and don't bring you joy, love, light, and happiness. So have a great week, and bye for now.